How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about SOFI and as well as for Chargepoint. Both of these plays ended up putting up red days, but that is not surprising due to the fact we did see weakness inside of the markets. We did have some strength going into the close, but I want to make sure that you guys are prepared going into next week, most specifically Monday, because I'm always keeping you guys in the loop when it comes to these stocks. But I just want to let you know, if you're new to this channel, we have timestamps down below inside the description because I do value your time. So we're going to take a look at the charts, we're going to take a look at the short interest, and then when all of that is done, I'll be giving you guys my final thoughts. So let's get into those videos right now. So we're going to take a look at the chart for SOFI. Let's see how it performed. So it ended up closing at $6.05, being down 5.62%. On the low, it tested $6.01, and then on the high, testing $6.27. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 43.737 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 38.098 million shares. So we had above average volume on the day, and we saw a pullback in the stock. When we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, what I want to bring to your attention, yes, we did break our higher low pattern alongside with higher highs. But one thing that was good to see, we were able to hold support right at $6. I was saying if we end up having a pullback, we want $6 to hold. But you know what's interesting though? Remember when I brought to your attention the $6.25 level and why it was important for us to have price action above it? Now you can see it's pretty much now has become resistance. The high for SOFI was around $6.27. So again, don't be surprised, and this is why it's important to make sure that you know your levels. So going into Monday, if $6 does not hold on SOFI, then we could see a pullback going here to $5.90. Of course, you'd want to see strength there, but we do know about this area at $5.75 or $5.76. This is where we'd want to see some sort of a bounce if SOFI got down here. And if it didn't, then we know a well-known area where SOFI has shown some support is in this $5.50 range. But aside from that, if you're a bull and you want to see a move to the upside, we have to have that break above 625 or 627 where we had resistance on Friday, which is today. But what you want to see is a move at least to the 50 EMA at $6.46. If SOFI could reclaim this 50 EMA, especially on Monday, I think that'd be a good look for the play, and we'll have some more bulls wanting to come in and push the price up further. But if it doesn't do that, that's why I say pay attention to those levels that I already previously discussed. Now let's take a look at the short interest. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for SOFI. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings, we also have one here for September the 16th. We have Private Trust Co. that purchased 30,000 shares with a value of $158,000. Now when we take a look at our short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 31.79%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 9.68 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 18 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.95%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 14th, it was at 40.95, and then for the close of the 15th, being at 31.79. So it has gone down a bit, and then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 13.19%, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential. So we're going to take a look at the chart for Chargepoint. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $17.97, being down 6.65%. On the low, it tested $17.95, and then on the high, testing $18.82. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 19.179 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 13.513 million shares. So you can see we had above average volume on the day, and we had a pullback in the stock. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, if you remember what I said in my previous video, I really wanted us to be able to hold at least above $18.50. We were unable to do that, but then we said the next area that we should be watching for Chargepoint is to hold $18. It saw a low at $17.95. So just taking that into consideration, and we also did did post up a lower low from the previous day. If Chargepoint has another pullback, we want support to come in right where I was drawing this handle right here at $17.55. If we break through $17.55, you can see we also have the 9 EMA at $17.57. That means we can end up having a drop down to the 21 EMA at $16.70. So please add that to your notes if you haven't done so already. But we know, since we do have a level that we did bring up in previous videos at $16.51, if Chargepoint stays above that, it still looks like an interesting play. Now, as far as for a move to the upside, now we did see a high at $18.82. Like I said previously, we put in a lower low and we also did put in a lower high. So we want to break above $18.82. We get that break, then we can go back to seeing Chargepoint trading in that $19 area and then seeing if it can go back to make that move back to $20. And we know that there's top line resistance, which is pretty strong right here at $21. So overall, let's see what Chargepoint does going into Monday, but at least you know what it looks like to the upside and as well as for the downside. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Chargepoint. So scrolling down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings, we also have one here for the 16th. So we have Private Trust Co. that purchased 931 shares with a value of $13,000. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the off-exchange short volume ratio is at 36.33%, and then for the off-exchange short volume, it is just over 4.91 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 1.4 million, updated 13 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 2.29%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of the 14th, it is at 36.38, and then for the close of the 15th being at 36.33. And then when we take a look at the short interest percentage of the float being at 15.63%, Chargepoint does continue to have short squeeze potential. So for my final thoughts for Chargepoint and as well as for SOFI, let's start off with Chargepoint. So we ended up seeing a high at $18.82 and we saw a low at $17.95. Why is this significant? So going into Monday, what do we want to see? If Chargepoint decides to have a further pullback and make a lower low, I want to see strength around $17.50. But keep in mind, as long as we stay above $16.51, then there's a good chance Chargepoint can continue to show some strength inside of the market. So again, $16.51 to be exact. We break below that, that's where things start looking murky. But in the meantime, if Chargepoint can continue to have some strength and staying above $17.50 or even $17, then it's still in play. As far as where you want to see the break, you want to see the break above the high of the day that we had on the Friday, and that means that we want to see Chargepoint making a move back to $19. Give us another test. If we can break above $19, we know as far as top line resistance, it's right around $21. We could look at $20 as a psychological area, so add that to your notes as well. As far as SOFI is concerned, so we had some support right at $6.01. So going into next week, we want $6 to hold. If $6 does not hold, you know where we can pull back to. You should know these levels like the back of your hand. $5.75 or $5.76 is where we want to see some strength. If you want to see a strong move to the upside, remember when I was talking about that $6.25 level? So we ended up seeing a high at $6.27. So you know what I'm about to say right now. We need to have that price action back above $6.25 or at the high of $6.27. So SOFI can make a move, and I want to see it getting to at least $6.60. That would be great, and then we could see that momentum continue inside of the play. But overall, even if it doesn't get to $6.60, as long as it can get to around $6.46, that's right where we have the 50 EMA. So having a close around that level would consider to be bullish. And then when we took a look at the short interest information, SOFI does continue to have short squeeze potential, just like Chargepoint. But we're going to have a lot of volatility in the markets going into next week. And the main reason behind that, we do have the Fed meeting. So knowing this, we know that both of these plays are going to see a lot of volatility, and I want to make sure that you are prepared for that. How do you prepare? You want to make sure you have a game plan, you have a strategy, and making sure you're taking notes when you're watching my videos. I'm here to help you guys out. I want to see you make money in the market. And another point that I want to bring up, I'm getting those messages saying, Dre, how do you protect your profit? profits. So what does this mean? So let's say, for example, you enter in SOFI at $6 and then it goes to $6.25. So you want to move your stops up. So maybe you might want to move it around $6.10. If it moves up further, let's say around to $6.60, then you can move your stop up to $6.30. This is how you protect your profit. I'm just using this as an example. And when it comes to options, one of the rules that we have inside of the Discord, once you're up 10%, move up your stops. Protect that 10%. There's no reason to have a green trade going red on you. And that's how you do it. I could talk about it further. Let me know inside of the comment section if you want to see a video like that. But I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and let's see how these stocks perform going into Monday.